Woohoo! That was fun. Oh, hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. On this channel, you find cool truck and SUV news, reviews, and, well, fun driving experiences with new vehicles, like this Kia Seltos. I'm going to do a review on this. In this review, I'm going to talk to you about driving impressions. I'm going to talk to you about exterior, talk about interior, and give you kind of my Timisms, that I call them, on this vehicle and whether or not it is the vehicle for you. If you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe, click down, smash the like button, because this is cool stuff. It's not quite a truck. I love trucks. But anyways, this is a compact SUV. If you haven't heard of the Kia Seltos before, you are not alone. This is the first time vehicles come out. It is like I said, a subcompact SUV. Think about like a small car, really small car that is taller. That's what that is. I have 1.6 liter turbocharged engine with 195 foot-pounds of torque, 175 horsepower, which is about average when you look at turbos. They usually have more torque than they do horsepower. I made it to a 7-speed automatic transmission. I have 25 city, 30 highway, and 27 combined when you're not driving spiritedly, like I happen to be. I have a sport mode, a smart mode, eco mode as well if you want to really improve your fuel economy. And yeah, I have inside this fully loaded Seltos for $28,000. Yeah, look at that sticker. One more time, $28,000. This is built in... So yeah, it's built in Korea. So I'm going to go ahead and pull over here in a second. I'll talk to you about the exterior. Then we'll do the interior. Then I'll wrap it up with my driving impressions and my Timisms. Boy, I can talk this morning. Timisms. Essential. Let's check out this exterior. This color is sunburst yellow. It's a pretty cool front end. This is definitely unique. I mean, I really like the styling here. It's got cool, just cool. We have fog lamps. We got LED lamps. We got Kia on the badge. Yeah. Overall, I think it's pretty cool. Come around the sides. A sleek profile here, right? Very sleek. Let's check out the tires. So, Como radial tubeless, got Kia and the kind of cool styling there. They're 235 45s R18s. We have disc brakes. It would be nice if they would have painted these calipers like red with that. But okay, that's just me. So moving along the sides here, we have all-wheel drive there. We have a black roof on top with some roof rails, sort of wannabe roof rails. I guess you could use them. I guess you could tie some stuff down if you wanted to. Coming along the sides, keyless entry. Ding, ding, right there. Back with the tires. Wrap off the rear end here. Again, I think they did a really good job in the styling. I think it's a really stylish SUV. It's just, the color is a little bit, well, a little something. SXT-GDI. Yeah, that's a lot of acronyms. All right, so moving along the sides. There you go. Now let's check this back end out. We have an opener there. We have lights, and you see the, rear view camera. Anyways, back here we have plenty of room for my golf clubs, which is always setting for me, and I have my walking pull cart. A little indent over here. This is a little bit of a storage thing over there. Like around the sides. Speaker back there. We do have some red hooks that holds down the seats, and we have this cover so the cargo gets covered. Now there isn't any push button electronics back here. This is a old school pull it, but it closes pretty good, fairly solid. Oh, that's your fuel, but there's a thing on the floor. I'll show you that in a minute. Anyways, back over here in the rear, we have, it's black on black. This is a little bit of a shiny kind of gloss black here. As we get in. Okay. We have vents in the second row, which is always important. We have a USB and a little bit of a holder there for, I guess, throw a phone in there if you want to charge it kind of with a cord. That'd be your holder. Anyways, yep, plenty of kind of some cloth seats back here. I do have a cup holder back here, and as I turn around this camera, oh hey, how you doing? We have a decent amount of headroom. I mean, got some there, got some shoulder room. It's not like I want to spend hours back here, but it's doable for around town for a guy like me. I think if you're bigger, like a 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3" guy, you'd have some problems. This is a little bit smaller vehicle, and this is a good room back for kids back here. But yeah, that's how that works. Let's go ahead and go around the front, and I will flip the camera on. See how expertly I do that. And we'll go on the front here. Entry exit from these, like getting in and out. it's okay. There is some fair amount of room there. It's not bad. As you get around here, this door opens up even better. So I haven't had any problems there. It's been nice to get in and out. Again, it's a subcompact SUV, so it's only like, I don't know, 5'6" or 5'5" tall. So it's not a very tall vehicle. As we come in over here, good. So we have engine start stop, which I'll turn it on, and I will kill the radio. All right. So then I have a radio. It's got 3 screens. You see the map, the radio, and outside temperature. It's kind of nice. And you can do a bigger screen. You can do straight nav. You can kind of go through the menu system across. So we have media, destination, that kind of stuff going across. Okay. Oh, I don't know what I did. Sound of nature. Anyways, we come along the sides. We have the HVAC controls there. This is a wireless charger up in here. It's kind of all right to get to. They don't have much room in here, so I had to put it in there. We have a center locking differential, and we have heated seats and downhill assist control. Center locking differential and downhill assist control. Kind of interesting in a vehicle like this. Big drive mode button, and we have park and hold buttons there. We have some cup holders, and then we have it's an okay size. I guess I'll take my GoPro. And it does fit my GoPro. It's not a huge amount of storage in there, but again, small car. And let's see. Oh, we have some storage over there. Not a whole lot. I do have a little type of plastic here, but this is not bad. And nice stitching in here too. It's kind of a black on black look. All right, so come over to steering wheel. We carry the gloss over here on top of the steering wheel. We have cruise control, and we have steering. This is lane depart, adaptive cruise, and we have the Bluetooth and turn up the volume on the radio. There's our gauges. Yep, nice gauges. And over here we have a few buttons for lights and auto start stop. So overall, I think it's pretty good interior. And fancy dancy the camera work there good. So good amount of headroom here and good amount of shoulder room. I do wish it had like a panoramic moonroof or something. That'd be kind of neat back in here. Just has nothing here, and so yeah, that's what that is. Oh, and the fuel gauge, the fuel door is, use my legs, right there. There's the fuel door. All right, let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk about the engine. Okay, there you go. There are my thoughts on the exterior and my thoughts on the interior. And so I'm going to share my thoughts on driving. That's how this works, folks. So on the road, I can feel a little more road vibrations than I would like. The steering is a little bit looser, tighter. I don't know. The steering wheel inputs are okay. It does respond. It feels like it's a little bit. It's like a drunk man on a Friday night. Kind of a way back and forth. Anyways, and the sound inside the cabin is, it's a little loud. I'd like it to be a little bit quieter. I can really hear the wind noise, and it's not that windy out there. It's really a lot louder in here than it should be. So, kind of like I said, it's okay. I think offline it's a lot of fun, although at times if you don't hit it quite right, the turbo does lag. If you really do like a wide open throttle, if you smash the gas, you gotta kind of ease into a little bit, let the turbo catch on a little bit, and then it goes. So not a big deal, but just something to consider. And on the road and long road trips, I don't know if I could do a long road trip in this. I don't think the seats comfort and the ride comfort would let me do it. It'd wear you down. It would. So on this vehicle, I am kind of perplexed, confused, if you will. There are lots of things to like about it. So, for example, fully loaded car, $28,000. You have all the bells and whistles, like the new safety technology. I have Apple CarPlay. I have Android Auto. I have Sirius XM. I have heated seats. I got adaptive cruise control, like I said earlier. I got a pretty good fuel economy, and I got Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the powertrain. I mean, I got a lot of things that are great about that. Absolutely great. I also got things that I'm just like, I don't know, seat comfort that great? Not really. I don't have a button to open the rear hatch. Kind of drives me nuts a little bit when you pull in someplace, you want to hit the button, and by the time you get out, the hatch ready to go. Yeah, Timism for sure. I don't know that I need a center locking differential. It seems really strange to me to have in this vehicle because the road height is not that high. It's not off the ground that very much. So not like you're going four-wheeling with this thing anytime soon. Not happening. I don't like it's not quiet in the cabin, but I do like how it's sporty off the line. So lots of Timisms. I'm not sure exactly. Let me put it back in normal mode. I'm not because it changes. So the driving modes change transmission and change the engine. So it's a little bit quieter than normal because the engine's not amped up as much. There you go. There's my word, amped up. I do wish there was a sunroof. It's weird. It's like you can keep the center locking differential. I don't really care about that, but give me a sunroof. You know, there's a trade-off here with this kind of vehicle, and I will double check and I'll put down below. But I'll see different trim levels and things. I don't know exactly what trim levels this comes in, and there may be one with a sunroof. But it seems like if you want to do fully loaded, that the sunroof would be part of the option. I think so. I like the infotainment screen. It's nice. It blends in. It's not so distracting. I'm not looking over here. Easy to use. I have nice buttons. I have buttons for the volume knob, which is huge because apparently that's a thing that people don't want to put knobs in their vehicles. Strange. No, very, very strange. I like the styling. I like the bows. The color is a little bit love it or hate it. Some people will love it. Some people will definitely hate it. Other than that, wireless charging, like that, but it's kind of a weird spot to get into, so not a fan of that. It's a compromised vehicle, folks. It's for that customer who really wants to get a lot of bang for the buck and doesn't care so much about the driving aspect of it, but wants something with all the features for below $30,000. Who's got maybe themselves and a wife, or maybe the young family, or maybe an older couple that just wants a newer, more reliable vehicle. Yeah, that's what I think this is. Oh, there goes a train. Hi, train. So, there you go. There are my conflicted thoughts on the 2020 Kia Seltos. And no, it's not a cracker. I thought it was a cracker. Seltos is like a cracker name, right? I think. I don't know. Anyways, make sure you watch this video over here. This one right there. Full of cool stuff as well. Interesting reviews and things I've done. Just watch the video. Also, check us out on pickuptrucktalk.com. Those 3 words. We're getting on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Trust me, I've done it. Okay, train's gone. Okay. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road. Yay! Oh, railroad bumps. Yeah. How about that handling?